Happy Monday, everybody. We are back. Mamie Lee, editor-in-chief of Lake Norman Woman Magazine. Katie Stankiewicz, my gorgeous co-host, looking fresh and tan, straight back from vacation. And we have another great guest in the studio, Sheena Shaw, who is our cover for April. Sheena, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, Katie, we got to talk about the farm. What's going on out there? It's spring on the farm.
It is spring on the farm, and it is as yellow at the farm as it is everywhere in Lake Norman. Yes, the pollen is thick.
The pollen is pollinating.
But the tulips are blooming. Everybody is feeling good. The horses are shedding like crazy. So life is great. I love spring on the farm.
Yeah.
I love all the seasons, but I was sitting out riding in the middle of the field just the other day, and I'm like, this is amazing. There's birds, there's wind, there's sunshine. It's great.
It's life coming back, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we all need it. We all need this boost of let's have some sunshine, let's have some flowers, get out into nature.
I mean, for me, it's worth it for the pollen. I mean, the pollen's worth it to get the warmer temperatures, the nice air. It'll be lake season before you know it. You know, we'll be out there on the water skiing and doing all the fun lake activities. So I'm really looking forward to all of that. So Llama Watch, where are we?
She's as miserable as that ring mama at the end of her pregnancy. We're getting there.
We're almost there.
Hopefully
soon. A llama?
A llama, yes.
You have a llama?
We have 4 llamas.
Oh.
And one llama is we're on pregnancy watch because she's due any
We should have 2 baby llamas at some point
Well,
soon,
no, now
right?
we're only getting 1.
Oh, we're just only getting 1. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't get the other pregnant llama.
okay.
Yeah, so we're just down to 1, but that's okay.
one baby
She'll
llama?
be spoiled rotten.
That's okay. That'll be fun. What activities do you guys have? Any events or anything else coming up soon?
The biggest thing we have going on that we're partnering with one of our partners up in the mountains is the First Responder Mental Health Summit. That's coming up at the end of April. We're going to have be inviting first responders up to hear about different talks, all focused on trauma, healing from trauma, different holistic options. So really educating and sharing that healing happens outside of 4 walls. So that's a huge event, not only for us locally, but also for the state, and really pushing that mental health awareness. And then we've got our groups going. We're going to have more different support groups going. Our individual sessions are going. We have a new therapist starting on Wednesdays. So I'm super excited to have Lindsay on board. And it's really just that powerful burst of spring energy.
Yeah, it really does. It kind of brings a new energy. Once spring hits, whether you're a warm weather person or not, because we do have a lot of cold weather people that live here, right? But if you are a warm weather person, that burst of energy hits whenever spring. You're ready to get outside. You're ready to get the house clean, get outside, wash the car, get on the boat, whatever you're going to do outside. So it's always nice to have and exciting. And as we're heading into May, coming up very soon.
And that's Mental Health Awareness Month. So
we'll be doing a lot that month as well.
Talk more about it.
Yes. As long as we keep talking about it too, then it becomes less of I don't even know if stigma is the right word. Is that the right word?
Absolutely.
So less of a stigma around talking about mental health. So just keeping it in the forefront, keep talking about it, because it should not be something. I feel like we should treat mental health issues the same as we treat physical health
wholeheartedly.
issues.
Absolutely. Well, the more we have those hard conversations, not only with ourselves, but with our family and our friends. And it's not that surface like, oh, how are you? It's like, no, let's make eye contact, read their energy. How are you really feeling? And then feeling safe enough to open up about no, life's been hard, or this last season has been challenging. And there's support to help you.
There's so many ways to support, whether it's through Willow Equine and Soul to Soul that you offer, or other groups that you work with.
Or going to the gym.
Yes.
Meeting at a local establishment and connecting with friends. There's so many different ways that we can create support and connection. And now's the perfect time to start doing it.
And with Lake Norman Woman Magazine, we offer so many ways to connect for women, especially. So we offer a ladies' night that we do once a month with Bin 110. That is not a networking group. You're welcome to come and network. You're welcome to do whatever you'd like. But it really is a way for us to create friendships. We meet at Bin 110 one Thursday every single month. It's not always the same. We kind of move it around because I felt like if we did it on the 3rd Thursday every month, right? That might be helpful for some people, but some people might be like, every 3rd Thursday, my kid has softball practice, or they have lacrosse, or they have soccer, and I can't come. And so we try to move it around on the calendar to make it easy. Yeah. We have our Ladies Who Lunch coming up June the 3rd at the Safe Harbor Peninsula Yacht Club in Cornelius. That's another way to connect, to hear a fantastic speaker, Charlisa of Crushing Chemo Chick. Gorgeous
She's awesome.
woman.
She's fun. I want her wardrobe.
Oh, me too.
I would I would die to see
her
closet.
glasses are everything. Oh. She like coordinates her glasses, Sheena, to her outfit too. So it's absolutely amazing. So June is Cancer Survivors Awareness Month. And so she is a cancer survivor. She's a survivor of breast cancer. And so she's going to come and talk to that about if you're dealing with cancer. And I think a lot of time breast cancer, right, we talk about in October because that is kind of the traditional one, but we can talk about it all year long.
Well, we need to. It's no different than mental health. It's no different than child abuse prevention. These main topics that are hitting and impacting every family, they need to be talked about on a regular basis.
And so just giving that space to be able to talk about it, to share about it, to hear from someone who's been through it, because you and I can talk about it all day, but she has personally gone through it. She's written a book as well. I mean,
it's a children's book.
She has a children's book that she wrote, which is amazing.
When I saw it at the First Ladies That Lunch last month, I immediately took a picture and sent it to Rainbow Kids up in Statesville because I was like, hey, this is an excellent book for y'all to add to your curriculum.
Yes.
Because it's talking about, the preparation, the talking through, the having those hard conversations with the kids.
The kids of what that looks like for your parent to go through something like that.
As the adults do.
Yeah.
She's phenomenal. I'm excited for it.
I'm really looking forward to that. So those tickets are available. They're on sale right now. You can head over to lakenormanwoman.com. You can head over to our Facebook page to find the link to purchase those tickets as well. And then, of course, we have our signature event, which is this is our inaugural one, but I'm already saying it's going to become the event of the season.
Yes.
The Lake Norman Woman of the Year. And as much as I wish that I could win this award, I'm out there just to celebrate the woman.
We're celebrating behind the scenes.
We are. Katie has been so gracious to be on my planning team for it. And so we are just out there trying to celebrate all the women of Lake Norman. And what I've done when I came onto the magazine is I wanted to make it accessible for all women, because I think I've said before on this podcast, I didn't own a business. Before I came in here, I didn't own a business. I wasn't a decision maker. I was just a regular girl living in Lake Norman, loving life, working her job. And I wanted to make this accessible for all women. And this is a way to do that. So you don't have to be a business owner to win Woman of the Year. You just have to be making an impact in the community. And that can be through being a mom. That can be through being a volunteer with an organization. That could be through great work that you're doing in your community. There's lots of really cool options and ways that you can be nominated. Nominations open in May, which is next month, which when this airs, that'll just be next week. And those are coming up soon. So make sure you're following us on all the socials, on our website, and just keeping up with everything we're doing. We stay busy. Not as busy as you, Sheena. But we stay busy. But women do, right?
All of us women stay busy.
I mean, all the women stay busy. No hate to our men, but all the women stay busy. We all wear so many hats.
We don't know how to sit still.
No.
Like, even if we can.
I know. I was saying,
she was intentional about it this weekend.
I was very intentional about it over the weekend. I did. I gave myself the permission to rest and sleep, and my body really needed it. And I feel fantastic today too. So I think it was just something that my body needed. But I'm usually running 100 miles an hour in 15 different directions.
I think, I don't know if you guys are both moms.
Yeah.
But when you go become a mom, you just go. And then finally, when their kids get to a place where now you can rest, you don't know how to rest anymore.
Right, yeah.
Right.
You're like, forgot how to relax.
Right. And you have 2 children, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's even, Katie and I both only have one. And so, and mine's actually in college now, so I'm an empty nester now. But now I just replaced all of the to her with the magazine. So, that's my new baby.
It keeps you young.
It does. You know what? I think busyness is not the goal all the time, right? But staying active in my mind is what I like to do.
Being intentional with your time, making an impact, putting it in the right places.
But I think the thing I'm struggling with these days is how to be intentional with all my other things outside of work, right? How do I be intentional with my friendships, with my family relationships, with the nonprofits that I want to volunteer with that I just don't have the time to? So like, how do I, I think you said, Katie, that like reprioritizing, and I think that's the stage that I'm in right now.
Yeah. Well, because when you love what you do, whether it's the magazine, whether it's the pub or your real estate, whether it's being out at the farm, when you're passionate about it, it's not a job.
No.
That's what I say all the time. I'm like, I have a job, yes, technically, but I said, I'm passionate about it. This is my soul work. This is what we're meant to do. And so when you're working all these hours, it doesn't seem like work.
Yeah.
When in the big time, it's like, yes, it is work. It's draining on you. It's taking away from your family. It's taking away from your friends. And also you need that time to set it down so you can come back refreshed. Like you said, you feel 10 times better now sleeping for the weekend versus pushing through.
Right. And I think for me too, it's just being able to put it down, because as far as like my friends and family see from the outside, Mamie's just working all the time. But I was like, I can't explain to you how much I love what I do. Like I can't help you understand how much I love what I do.
Like it bothers me when people are like, oh, Katie, you're so busy. And I don't know why it gets under my skin. It's something obviously I should work on, but it's like, I'm not busy. I have things going on, but I don't feel like I'm like this busy, disconnected space. It's just, we have life going on. And if you think about it too, our parents didn't have so many irons in the fire when they were raising their kids. And so I know that's one thing that my mom and I talk about is it's like, oh, you're so busy. I'm like, but Mom, there's more things going on now than there were
when you were a kid.
years ago.
It costs more to live, number one, you know, and then so you have to do more side jobs or pick up, you know, the wife or the husband also has to work for a lot of households.
Going on. You got
your kids, kids are held to a higher level at a younger age in order to compete in sports. And then as business owners, you have another component, the internet. Marketing.
And social
Now
media.
you have to be,
you have to be doing TikTok dances.
You have to do your
too.
job plus another job on top of your job. You know?
You'd be creative enough to think about all the things you're supposed to be doing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, oh goodness.
That's right. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break and we will come back with more with Sheena. We're going to get to know her a little bit better. Katie and I on the Late Norman Woman podcast. See you guys in a minute.
Dreaming of starting your own podcast but don't have the space or gear? The WSIC Podcast Studio has everything you need to bring your content to life. With multiple sets that can be tailored to fit your needs, state-of-the-art lighting, and camera equipment, you'll be ready to create high-quality content. Need a photography studio? We've got you covered with our professional cyclorama wall. Bring your own camera and let our expert producers handle it. Email social@WSICnews.com to schedule your tour today. The WSIC Podcast Studio, where your ideas come to life. Looking for deeper self-discovery and emotional growth? Soul to Soul Connection offers supportive space where horses help you understand your inner world in ways traditional talk therapy can't. Our certified professionals guide you through meaningful experiences that foster reflection, healing, and renewed perspective. Best of all, these services are offered at low or no cost for veterans, first responders, and their families. Learn more at healingwithhorseslkn.org and start your journey toward greater well-being today.
Imagine a home where every inch is designed just for you. At The Closet Niche, they create custom solutions based on your specific needs. From closets to build-ins, garages to wall beds, their locally created solutions deliver functionality and elegance. With a lifetime warranty, best price guarantee, and award-winning service, you'll see why they've won Best of the Lake 2 years running. Get your space reimagined. Visit theclosetniche.com today.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Lake Norman Woman podcast. We're here with Sheena Shaw. Sheena is our April cover woman of Lake Norman Woman magazine, a true powerhouse in both real estate and community leadership. Sheena of the hometown team with EXP Luxury Division. Sheena is known not just for helping families turn their dreams into addresses across Lake Norman, but also for the heart, hustle, and purpose she brings to everything she does. Sheena and her husband are also the proud owners of Cedar Stump Pub, a beloved local spot that reflects their commitment to creating community both personally and professionally. Her journey is one of perseverance, growth, and making an impact, whether it's through real estate, small business, or giving back. We're honored to feature her on the cover of the April issue of Lake Norman Woman magazine. Gorgeous cover. Shout out, Chelsea.
Thank you.
And Sheena.
I appreciate it.
Yes. And even more excited to welcome you to the podcast. Thanks so much for being with us today, Sheena.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I'm excited
absolutely.
to be here.
Okay, which came first, real estate or Cedar Stump?
They came at the same time.
They came at the
She
same
does everything at the same time.
We had babies and businesses at the same time.
At the same time.
Literally.
Okay,
Yes.
so what was that like? Was it business and then, I mean, all at the same time? Yes. Is that just one of those things where like, let's just do it all? We've got all these things going on. Let's just do everything at once.
Me and my husband met in Wilmington in our 20s because after I went 2 years to Pfeiffer University, And then I moved to the beach, Wilmington, and that's where I met him. And then we stayed for a really long time because we were having so much fun. But about 27, we were like, oh my gosh, we have to get out of here. We're never going to grow up. This is like Neverland. And so then we headed back to my hometown, Troutman/Mooresville. Kind of grew up in Mooresville, but went to South Iredell High School. So I feel like I'm from kind of both towns because at the time they didn't have Lake Norman High School. And so we were like, oh my gosh, we got to get married. We got to have babies. We're 27, 28. So we literally have to do everything like right now.
All at the same time?
All at the same time. Because we were in school, but also in the service industry, but didn't start working on like what we were going to be when we grew up. Right. You know what I'm saying? So when we got...
So you weren't doing real estate in Winston-Salem. In Wilmington.
I got my license in Wilmington, but at the time it was 2008. You know, that was the best year to get your license. And the market crashed, and the person who said they were going to help me, like mentor me, moved to Hawaii. And I was like, well, guess I'm not doing real estate right now.
You moved to Hawaii.
Yeah, I mean, true. That sounds like a good... My cousin actually lives in Hawaii. But anyways, and so I just held on to it for when, you know, it was the right time. And so then when we moved back home, I call it back home, back to Troutman, which was...
Was that 2009?
No, it was like about like 13, 14 years ago. I don't even know what year that is. 2013-ish.
Yeah.
We came back. I was like, all right, well, I guess I started teaching pitching lessons because I played, sorry if I'm bouncing everywhere.
No,
I've kind of done a lot of things. Anyways, because I played softball my whole life, and then I got a scholarship to pitch at Pfeiffer University. So basically when I came back home, my mom had built a fast pitch softball girls pitching business while I was gone. So when I came back, I already had 20 girls to start working with. So I basically did that and then reactivated my real estate license and got back into it. And then within about a year of being in the business, that's when my husband... He's always been an entertainer at heart, you know, so he's done DJing, weddings and events, and he actually DJs at Feed NC when they do their large event every year. And he's always wanted to open a bar. And I was like, well, I don't know or a pub, you know, hometown local pub. And I was like, I don't know because we're at the point where we're going to have kids, and that lifestyle contradicts.
Raising a kid in a bar.
Yeah.
You'd be like the girl on, what is that, the Sweet Home Alabama? Yeah. You got a baby in a bar.
Yeah. So, and it wasn't really until like we found a little cute place in Troutman that we were like, oh, well, this doesn't feel like we're just opening a pub anymore. This feels like we're bringing a culture to the community, which that's different than just opening a pub. So he started to open a pub. I started my real estate journey, and we both went off like that at the same time, like going for...
and then babies too, all with it. And your children are how old now?
5 and 9. Okay. I have 2 little girls, Ezra and Sage. Ezra's, like I said, she's 9, and Sage is 5. So we had babies and businesses born all at the same time.
At the same time.
It was a hot mess.
I bet it was a whirlwind.
And then COVID came, and that was a triple hot mess.
And then that'll just throw you, right, because COVID, all right, so real estate went nuts
crazy
during COVID.
Pubs shut down.
And and then the restaurant business really
And then you have 2 kids at home.
And then you have the kids at home that you're trying to homeschool with it all. Oh my goodness.
It was crazy. But the pubs actually, because we didn't have food in any of them at the time, so they were considered nightclubs. So they actually shut down exactly when the schools did. So like they were the first places to go because they weren't essential.
Right.
But we had to still keep paying our lease or mortgage or whatnot. And real estate went crazy, and everybody went to Lowe's and had the best yards in America and ready to sell their houses and buy houses, and interest rates were good. And my kids actually didn't have to stay home that long because I had brought them to Cornerstone Christian Academy, and they kept their doors open pretty much the whole time.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
So between that and camps, because the first year of COVID, YMCA didn't shut down either.
Oh,
so
wow.
they're not even going to know what understand that COVID happened, because
their life didn't
kept
change
going.
that much.
And plus Mommy still had to work, so
Mom was working more than
I had
ever.
to go. Yeah, I had to work more than I've ever worked. And then my husband started a dock business in that time because his pubs shut down. So it's not like he stayed home while I,
He just started another business.
Yeah, he just started.
They're just starting businesses every other day.
That's
like.
what we do. We
just one after the other. Yeah, that's right. So managing both of those, does your husband kind of manage the pub business? Because you have 3 locations now, right?
Yeah. So we have Cedar Stump, Troutman, Statesville, and Catawba. And so he basically, he takes care of the pubs. And then, I do real estate. And I would say in the last couple of years, he's really done a good job getting himself to a position to where he can shut off at a certain time. And he's helping me pretty 50 now that I started the real estate team too. Oh, we got that too.
Right, right. That's what I said. You're starting a new business.
What else you got?
Every other month to start a new business.
So we balance both our businesses and sharing duties with the kids. And he does a good job at that. And we coach a softball team now.
Oh my goodness.
What else?
What else you want to add on to the plate?
That partnership.
Yeah.
Because one can't get run down, and one, because I think about like with COVID too, I worked like crazy because Jeff was home. We weren't sure when his race team was going to shut down or when they were going to go back racing. And so it was like, I'm essential. I'll work like crazy. And then to come back home and still have the kids and the family and all that. I'm like, we got to have a partnership here or this ship's going to sink real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. And my husband was considered, my husband works on cars. So he was considered essentials. That was almost as busy as the real estate, because people are like, well, now I'm home. And then they started getting those payouts, those whatever it was. They started getting those checks from people, and they're like, well, now I can afford to do the work to my car that I've been needing to do. So he stayed busier than ever. But they would bring in like half the team for 6 weeks and then the other half the team. So then he'd be home and then he'd be working nonstop and then be home for a little bit working nonstop. So it was a wild time in our house. Meanwhile, I had a 7th or 8th grader that I was trying to teach at home, which I'm not good with 7th or 8th grade work at all. It was not fun.
Organized chaos.
It was definitely organized chaos. All right, we're going to take a quick break and then we'll come back more to talk to Sheena, and we're going to ask you our 3 favorite questions that we ask every single week. We'll be right back with the Lake Norman Woman Podcast.
Ready to create your podcast, video, or photo shoot? The WSIC Studio is your one-stop shop for all your content needs. We offer multiple sets that can be tailored to fit your vision, along with state-of-the-art lighting and camera equipment. Plus, our Cyclorama Photography Studio provides the perfect backdrop for stunning visuals. Bring your own camera or use ours, with expert producers to guide you. Email social@WSIC News today to book a tour. The WSIC Podcast Studios, your content, our expertise.
Are you ready for a fresh approach to healing and personal development? At Willow Equine, our certified professionals offer equine-assisted therapy that harness the powerful connection between horses and humans. We provide counseling, mindfulness, and leadership development tailored to your unique journey. Discover new insights and transform your life through the sensitivity and wisdom of horses. Visit healingwithhorseslkn.org to learn more. Begin your path to well-being today.
Winning Best of the Lake 2 years in a row, The Closet Niche is not only locally owned and operated, but their products are manufactured right here in Lake Norman as well. With a lifetime warranty and best price guaranteed, they deliver stunning, high-quality designs tailored to your specific needs. From closets to pantries, laundry rooms to garages, and more. Their work speaks for itself. Visit theclosetniche.com to get started on your 5-star experience today. Visit theclosetniche.com today.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Lake Norman Woman Podcast. Our last segment was Sheena. Sheena, you did great. This has been so fun. This has been such a good time hanging out and getting to know you better, and letting our listeners get to know the woman on the cover of the magazine this month. This has been so great. So we like to ask all of our guests the same 3 questions, and we always get different answers. So I'm interested to hear what yours are. You are a unicorn, because even though you were not born here, you grew up in Troutman, right?
I grew up
Troutman, Mooresville-ish.
in Mooresville, but went to school in Troutman, so I kind of feel like
kind of right on both sides. But you grew up in the Lake Norman area. That is a unicorn. And now you're back here too. And so I think that makes it even more special. So what's your favorite thing about Lake Norman?
Well, I think my favorite thing about Lake Norman is I love all the little towns that connect to the lake. All 10 of them. I know some people think
there's 10.
There are 10.
Can you name them?
That?
I know
yes,
you can.
I can.
Okay, what are they?
Okay, we got Cornelius, Davidson, Mooresville, Troutman, Statesville, Catawba, Sherrills Ford, Terrell, Denver. I think that's 10, right?
Yep, that's
I think so. I always forget about Terrell.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people, whenever they're like looking up the lake, or even real estate agents or buyers moving here, they don't realize that. Well, they just realized that Troutman was on the lake the last year or two.
Crazy.
Really, Troutman has exploded the last few years. Yeah.
But they don't realize that if they just want to drive 1 or 2 more miles through the state park, Statesville has beautiful properties on the lake too.
It does have beautiful lake.
My house is in Statesville. And you would never, well, we're all surrounded by Troutman, but you'd never realize that.
And Catawba. People think that Lake Norman stops at Mooresville.
Exit 36. Doesn't go any higher than exit 36.
But now they're realizing it stops at Troutman. But if everybody would just open their mind up a little bit more, we got Statesville and Catawba.
It's a lot more lakefront
there.
Yeah, and
it's still naturey.
I think I like Troutman, Catawba, like that side too, because it feels more like old Lake Norman for anybody who grew up coming here or grew up around here.
Well, a lot of people from the south end of the lake or even Mooresville are pushing up to Troutman and Statesville, and I like to call it the north end of the lake. It's like my favorite spot is the north end. The Lake Norman State Park is there. There's 17 miles of shoreline that has no houses on it, so that's less boat traffic, more nature.
Well, it was actually an interesting conversation I had with a lady. She grew up in Oregon, and so Oregon, where they had a lot of lakes and rivers that had open access to everybody. And she was having just a hissy because she said there's no public access to the lake. Everywhere has a house. And I said, well, go to Lake Norman State Park.
Right.
Well, that's a day trip. I said, traveling from Mooresville to Troutman is not a day exit.
It's what, 2 exits?
No, it's
just one exit.
36 to 42. And
not
honestly, if you go up Perth Road, it's Mooresville, most of Perth Road, until you take a left on State Park, and then you're in Troutman.
Yeah, people sleep on the Lake Norman State Park all the time. It's not but 20 minutes,
and it's so beautiful.
And it feels like you're somewhere different. It doesn't feel like Jeton Park or Ramsey Creek or something down the south side of the lake. It really does feel like you're somewhere different.
Yeah, you get really great sunsets too.
Yes, the sunsets up here.
I love the sunset. All right, what's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever gotten?
I think it comes straight from God, is the best advice I take, and that is to, let anxiety and fear, which I'm trying to do that right now because I'm nervous on this podcast, but let
You're doing great.
Anxiety and fear go and give it to God, and because He's going to take care of you, and really the devil comes to rob and steal, and he does that through fear and anxiety and keeps you held back. So just give it to God. That's probably the best advice. Sometimes you have to step out
of your comfort zone too, which it sounds like you did.
I'm trying so hard, y'all.
Yeah, you did in every way possible, Sheena. Just taking on so many things at once.
I mean, I'm actually more of an introvert, really, to be honest with you. But because of my love for real estate, it's made me really step out and out of my comfort zone, and because you got to be an extrovert.
You have to stretch, because if you're not stretching, then you're not growing.
We talk about you have to just be growing all the time, right? And that can be in different ways, right? That can be stepping out of your comfort zone. That can be trying something new. That can be starting a business or helping to run a business, or even you said with your kids, like with them and learning sports and things like that. So just teaching that we can stretch ourselves is important too.
Yeah, I agree.
And taking those moments to recharge. Because for an introvert to have to put themselves out and to choose to put themselves out, that recharge time is just is even more important.
I know. My husband, he literally could have people around him all the time, always entertaining, and I'm like, all right, my battery is drained. I need to get home.
Yeah, it's time to recharge and read my book or scroll on Instagram or something like that to recharge. Yeah, absolutely. My daughter's an introvert and I'm definitely an extrovert. And so I have to remind myself, like, she's not a broken extrovert. She's just different, and it's okay.
Well, they have a new term called a
omnivert.
Yes,
omnivert.
I've heard that one. I was like, I think that's me now. I'm somewhere in the middle.
You're moving into that phase. I do have to mention too that you are the first. We've had some who have dabbled in real estate, but you're our first real estate primary job person that we've had on this podcast, which is crazy.
Which is actually amazing with the number of real estate. That is amazing.
I know. I feel like I'm the only person that's not a real estate agent in this town. And sometimes
because there's 17,000 realtors in the Charlotte MLS.
Really?
Wow.
So I feel honored. Thank you.
Yes, it's fantastic. I love it. With as many as I've met in my life living here in Lake Norman too. Our last question is, what's one of your core values?
I would say if you're going to choose to go for it, whatever it is, give it 110% and put your soul and your heart into it. People can feel that, because I feel like a lot of people in jobs get real transactional and a unit, especially in real estate. And that's empty. So I would say give it 110%. And if you fail and you put your 110% into it and you put your soul and your heart into it, then, you learn something and you can feel good about it when you walk away, and you keep taking shots. And as long as you win most of the shots, then you're good. You know what I'm saying? You're going to fail. Failing is learning.
Absolutely. It is. It's definitely learning.
I hate to say the word fail. I heard somebody else. Because it's not failing. It's really just...
It's just lessons, right?
Learning how to do it better.
Lessons,
or differently.
Or maybe God's protecting you from that because that's not your path, right?
Right. Yeah, definitely. So. Yeah, I think changing it from failure to just lessons learned, right?
There we
learn
go.
the wrong way to do what
learn.
Your goal is, right?
Yeah.
You're learning the wrong way to do it. And so you're taking that knowledge, as long as you're taking it instead of just saying, oh, I failed, I can never do it again. Okay, what lessons did I learn from this and how can I move forward?
Yeah, like if I've went up against another agent in a listing appointment and I don't win, I'm not mad about it at all. I actually want to just have them tell me why and how I could be better. And that just sharpens my blade and know that I'm that close to, knocking it out of the park every time. Yeah. So,
and for the next transaction or the next, thing that you go to, you'll know how to shift and change.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
All right, Sheena, thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you so much for being in the magazine and being our cover for April. It's absolutely beautiful.
Well, and for everything you do for Troutman.
That's right.
We live Troutman State, so Mom lives in Troutman, but you guys do so much to excite the community, to keep it growing, to bring us together. And that's important. We have to have those people in the community that are grounded in our roots.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I said when we had the pub, it was like, more of a culture is what I was wanting to get from it, The other thing is if anybody's looking to join a charity organization, we have the Troutman Ruerton Club, which is, I think we're about 3 years, 2022 is when we started that, and we're now 501(c)(3).
Oh, wow.
And we meet one time a month, and it's really good for people who work a ton but still want to get involved. And we we do a lot of things in the local community, like building ramps for elderly. We went Christmas shopping for about 20 people that didn't have Christmas, and scholarships for South Iredell, and all kinds of really cool stuff. And we get to vote, and it's all about local and keeping it local.
I love that. And you're bringing all the love to the north end of Lake Norman too. So we love that. We love that because it's all one Lake Norman, but we have all our each individual town.
Yes, I love all of the lake.
Don't leave out the north end though. Yeah. There's lots of love going on up there. All right, Sheena, thanks so much for joining us today. Katie, thank you again for another great episode. And you guys, we'll see you guys next Monday on the Lake Norman Woman Podcast.
Have a great week.
Bye.